Are you there? Can you hear me? Hello? Might want to keep the music off, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I think we're good.
You might have to reset this up. Hey, unplugged. Oh. I know, so difficult.
You're difícil. Alright. Let's see if they get this back in. Are you firefit and open?
One more spell. Let's see. First. Oh, and I have Revivify, so I can rest somebody if somebody dies.
Man.
I'm gonna do the spell magic too. Do you have the spell magic? I've got the spell magic.
Let me check. I can't remember. I did this kind of fast, so I'm like,
yeah, I did not.
The spell magic you said, is that 3rd level?
Yeah.
I don't know if
Nope.
it's gonna
Okay,
work.
I took more kind of like story style spells.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just very druid.
I totally min-maxed my character, like I always do.
I took Pass Without a Trace because I was like, that's too valuable to not have.
Well, yeah, this time around. Well, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. It's kind of bled out.
Oh, the brightness is too high.
Close that side one, maybe. There's 3 lines right there. Nope.
This one? This one?
Nope. Right there, that one. And then that should.
It's just so tiny on my screen, I can't.
No, I know what you mean. It's so itty bitty. Yep. If that makes it less.
I'm supposed to get one more second.
Yeah, it's bled out on the screen. I don't think people are gonna be able to see it, but whatever.
What camera? Isn't it this camera?
It's that camera.
So if there's like darkness, does that help?
Try bringing it over here, maybe. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We are fixing.
Experimenting.
We're experimenting here. Playing on the fly. It's all out of blur.
Yeah. Everyone's all throwing up. Motion sickness.
And see if maybe just zoom in where you guys are at.
What's that look like?
Better.
Is it like a shadow thing that blocks some light? Does that help?
It's a dark and a light. It's not able to get the full gamut. That's here, right here.
Oh yeah.
It's just a big halo.
And then a giant reflection.
Alright, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna try and reduce the stream quality, and then we'll do. Alright. Oh crud. Now it's all. We'll fix this. We'll fix this.
Haywire.
We will fix this.
No.
I like paladins.
I took this pretty cool spell called Enhanced Ability. So I can touch somebody and give them either like Bear's Endurance, Bull Strength.
Come on.
Like I can give them like the
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Fox's Cunning, like just a bunch of cool stuff. Cat's Grace, you can't take damage from falling.
So, is Reese on?
Not quite yet.
Alright, well, in that case, let me tell you guys about my character.
Hey, is that him? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Preston.
Yeah, I can hear you. Give me a second, I'm trying to kill the music.
Man, all that back and forth about Reese coming up and being here in person.
We're so excited.
And then you dog us anyway. So,
Mic check. Oh, he can't. He couldn't hear us. I don't have push.
Oh.
I had pushed talk on. Okay, now can you hear us? Sorry, I had pushed the talk on it, so it wasn't gonna work. Mic check 1, 2. Noise.
I was saying all that hype about Reese coming up in person, and then you just dog us anyway.
I drove to Murray, realized I forgot my phone, drove back to Sandy, couldn't find my phone, Realized I left it at a restaurant in Midvale.
So it was a
Got it, and I'm now back.
So it was a good day then.
So
Oh, yeah.
so I think,
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
before we jump into the adventure, do you guys mind if we spend a couple of minutes just talking about the characters we made today?
Yes.
So I did a paladin. His name's Ander Rathalalon, and for my one legendary item, I took a belt of storm giant strength, which just sets your strength at 29. Like, so no matter what your strength is, it's just like you can't add to it or detract from it. It's just 29, which gives me a +9 on all of my stuff. So here's my story. Because then when I made my stats, I made strength like my weakest. Yeah. Right? Because it's going to be 29 no matter what. So I cheated a little bit there. But here's the story. Like my background was acolyte. Okay. So I was like I was an acolyte at the local church of Helm. It was the god of protection. Okay. And the church was raided by orcs or goblins, I don't know which one. And everybody in the church was killed but me. I ran and hid. And then I came out and realized what had happened, and in my wrath, I broke into the Holy of Holies in the church where we had our sacred relics that we were protecting, and it was this belt and like a sword and a shield and a set of armor, right? And I donned all of the armor and the sword and the shield and put the belt on, and it basically turned me into a superhero. So I went from this scrawny weakling acolyte to like super buff paladin man, and now I'm a paladin of vengeance. I'm out to seek revenge. For all of my slain fellow church priests and acolytes and things.
So is this not gonna work then?
Oh shoot!
Okay, then I want to use this for
sure,
because it is so hard to use the tablet.
That's fine.
On a small
just
tablet.
Maybe put it where we can both see it. That's fine. So yeah, like I feel like I'm overpowered, but of course I'm level 12, so I guess we'll see. But I mean, I'm using a Sunblade, which is basically a +2 longsword. It just has the cool, like, lightsaber effect. Like, it's just a hilt, but like I turn it on and it's like this blade of light, so it's kind of cool. But I'm a +15 to hit. And a plus, I only roll a 1d8 for my damage, but it's +13 to damage. So, I feel strong with that 29 strength. And I've got some cool paladin stuff. Like, if you're within 5 feet of me, I can actually like cause your attacker to have disadvantage if I'm also within 5 feet. And I've got like some healing spells and some general kind of like bless, like buff and debuff type spells like paladins have. Yeah. That's me.
It's perfect.
Alright, I guess I'll
You get all that, Reese?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, let me know if I need to adjust the sound at all. I think we should be showing stuff now, maybe.
It was pretty clear, actually.
Okay.
Sweet.
I'm just having weird technical derpies.
Alright, so I am a high elf druid named Talion Brave Feather.
Nice.
And my whole thing is like I'm protect the natural order, the scales of nature, good and evil. And let's see my stuff. Let me look at my equipment. So I've got bracers of archery, gives me a +2 on damage and ranged attacks, and a longbow of warning, which is like sting but on a bow. Oh, cool. So it'll tell us if we're getting attacked or anything like that.
Glows blue.
Yeah. What else about other quick here? Let's see, skills. Pretty standard, like my highest is like +7 and it's all like nature, perception, investigation, like that kind of stuff.
Are you like primarily going to be like shape-shifting and fighting, or are you going to be like casting spells and shooting arrows?
I think I'm going to do ranged, and then if it gets hairy I can turn into a wild shape as a bonus action.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to do giant eagle as my primary.
Nice.
Thing.
Like form.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I can also do an elephant, but it would take both of my so I get 2 wild transition. I forget what they're called. But like I can turn into an animal twice per long rest.
Logic.
Okay.
So I can turn into an elephant, but it would take both of them.
And you can take elemental.
Yeah, I could turn into. Oh, that's what it was. I could turn into an elemental with 2.
Do you? No, you DM, but you DM another campaign, a Friday campaign where there's like multiple paladins, right?
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't mind helping me, like.
Yeah, none of them are at that high level, but yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, anyway, if you're noticing that I'm doing something wrong or forgetting something or whatever,
I will do my best to try and keep you on the straight and narrow.
Oh yeah, I forgot to go into my background. Like, that's kind of important. I took the haunted one background, so it means that my characters face some sort of unimaginable horror. And I'm no stranger to darkness. And so kind of like my backstory is I've been living on the outskirts of civilization, protecting civilization unbeknownst to them from evil. But now, but now it's affecting like my family. So now I'm leaving on a quest to vanquish it once and for all so like my kids can have a future.
Nice.
So Italian brave feather.
Yeah. Alright, Reese, you're up.
So I made Kai, who is a variant human. She is
what race? Sorry.
Just a human variant. Okay. She's a halfling and a human.
Okay.
So she is maybe 5 foot, like. That's the tallest you'd ever give her credit for.
Okay.
Super mousy, short brown hair. Is fairly average. It's like if you saw her in a crowd, you probably wouldn't notice that she was there. Which is great because she's a rogue. And she's a rogue sorcerer.
Nice.
With draconic bloodline, red dragon, in case anyone's curious. And she's and she has a lucky mask. It looks like a toy mask, but it is a black dragon mask.
Oh, is that what you took for your legendary item?
Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet.
That's from the Rise of Tiamat, isn't it? Or from the...
It's one of them, yeah.
Anyway. I think that's what Resmir had.
Mm-hmm.
But we never found it.
I have to look up what it...
I think it gives you, if I remember correctly, there was one of them that gave you dragon's breath of some form and then resistance against that.
Yeah,
dragon.
it does that.
Something along those lines. Be you.
So
I have to find it again.
That's okay.
So are you planning on primarily like fighting as a rogue or as a sorcerer? Do you know what I mean? Like, are you going to be standing back and like shooting spells, or like kind of up close and like stabby, maybe do a burning hands or something?
I am going to do my best to sneak in and get some legendary.
It's so funny, you guys like swapped.
Or some. I'm going to do my best to sneak in and get some like sneak attack damage.
Okay. Just so you know, I'm gonna rampage in every time, yelling and screaming.
That's perfect, because that's what I was counting on you to do.
I'd like to rage.
Nice.
Oh, BT dubs, if that is ever an option in our normal campaign, I want that item.
Which one?
What?
The belt that you took.
The belt of storm giant strength. There are various belts of giant strength. The one I took was like the max one.
Yeah.
It goes. It basically goes like hill giant. I don't even remember. Like hill giant, cloud giant, blah blah blah. Like it goes 21, 23, 25, 27, 29. So yeah, I took the most overpowered.
Perfect. Well, you're gonna need it for tonight.
Good.
Oh crap. That means I'm gonna die. I have my first attack.
So I wasn't clear on how on like what items we were allowed to take. Is it just one legendary item?
Basically, I said one legendary and equivalent to kind of what we have right now, like because we've got a couple like a wondrous item or legendary, and then a bunch of if you want to do some rares, uncommons, commons.
I took like my legendary and then like 2 blues and a green.
Yeah.
But
Just a healthy mix of kind of what we already have right now, just
rares.
with the exception of you could choose one nice item that's kind of like pivotal to your person, if you will, that kind of augments the best.
You're underpowered.
Okay, well, I gotta take a legendary real quick then.
So I took a feat that I technically don't qualify for.
Okay.
But is a big part of what I wanted my character to be able to do.
Okay. From a technical perspective, does it cause any like game-breaking changes, or?
It might be easier.
Well, it lets everyone re-roll a 1.
Go to like
Is that luck?
and search for,
It's bountiful luck.
and then you can like
Oh,
sort
luck?
them by,
Okay. Yeah, that'll be fine for tonight. Like I said, I'm not too stringent on all the stuff. Tonight's just kind of for fun and messing around. Now, for forewarning, just to give, I guess, everybody a preface, did you have anything else on yours that you wanted to say?
No, she's super lucky. That's it.
Okay.
I
Perfect.
guess it doesn't matter.
So, because luck is going to need to be on your side. So,
Okay.
to give you guys a preface, those who haven't joined us before, this is The Broken Spear. I am guest DMing for tonight. Corey and family had some prior engagements. Tonight we're doing a one-shot. This is coming from the Yawning Portal area, so some older Gary Gygax type modules that they've redone and kind of made going. This particular one I thought would be really engaging for you guys. I'll give you a warning right now. It is designed for people of the 11th level, and they say that there are deadly encounters even if you're at max level. So this is intended to be one of those ones that it's kind of more strategic and all that kind of fun. So I thought it might.
So we all might be writing junior next to our character
Yes.
sheets.
So there's a very real possibility you will die tonight, but that's okay. So yeah, welcome everybody. I want to also, I guess, we're going to give you a little bit of background of the Yawning Portal and kind of the tales of this particular where you guys kind of come into the story here. So essentially there is a place, there is a tavern that is fabled among other men, and frequented in this tavern are adventurers and people both looking for thrills, people looking for intrigue, people looking for just several different just something out of the norm, to go and see a living legend in this particular place. And it's amid the bustle of Waterdeep, within the castle ward, where barristers, nobles, emissaries all battle with word and contract, stands an inn not quite like any other. Before, there was a castle ward, even that could be recognized as the ancestor of the City of Splendors. There was a dungeon, and in that dungeon begins the tale of the Yawning Portal. Essentially, this adventurer had gone down into these caves that had been explored and delved through by this great wizard that had long since passed, and left this cave of wonders to just basically to ruin. No, it was left people that usually went in, never came back out. So he decided that the first person who actually had been able to go in and come back out successfully, there were two of them, and one of them decided to make an inn where they could actually go and be able to be purveyors of just different things. And one day, he, after building this tavern, having a family, he decided that he wanted to go into this well once again to go and find things. And years passed, and everyone thought he was dead until finally someone heard his voice coming from this well, and he'd come out well beyond what his years would have been, but looking the same as he kind of entered the cave.
Like he with been riches for a short amount of time. Exactly,
riches unknown. So for him, it seems that something he's been touched, he's been changed in some form or fashion. And this particular person, Durnan was his name. He came back to his family and was able to help them retire happily, and he began bartending again as though nothing ever happened. So upon entering into this inn, you guys see all the different relics from different things, whether it be from people, not being able to pay their bill and him taking a fancy to a magical item, something he got on his adventures, or there was times that people would go down into this cave looking for adventure and coming back with a prize that they would give to him. As just kind of like an homage, if you will, to the man who kind of started it all. So as you've been around, each of you have individually, specifically, I'm going to say Thornock, but I need to know your actual...
Ander.
Let me write these down.
Ander. Talion.
Okay, I took a legendary item because I realized I didn't. So I took a cloak of invisibility. Okay. If my hood's up, I'm invisible. Gives me 12 hours before it dies. Every 12 hours I don't use it, I regain an hour.
Okay, perfect. And what was your guy's name, Reese?
Kai.
K-Y-E?
K-A-I.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Ander and Kai, I'm gonna say Kai. All right, Kai. So Kai, you find yourself, the two of you, having heard of this place, the two of you separate but in the same mind, coming to this place and speaking with some of the different denizens of this tavern. And one of which of these conversations, because this is a place again where people come together and they share stories of just magnanimous adventures that they've been on, and one of them catches your ear is that there has been a recent gathering of hill trolls, or not hill trolls, hill giants, essentially. That's very unusual for these parts, and that they aren't too far off from the spine of the world. And upon kind of coming across this piece of information, listening kind of throughout the different things, how do each of you react to this? Hearing this with just two drunk sailors talking to each other in a tavern.
I feel like perhaps usually where there are trolls there are there's evil about, and I'm kind of on a quest to rid the world of evil. So my ears perk up, and I'm listening intently.
Okay. How does Kai? I'll get it.
She it's kind of nonchalant about it, just like meh.
Okay, so again, sitting in the room, listening to the different things, you see a few different things on the wall: a statue of a panther, wooden and painted black. You see burnt fragments of a scroll, an iron gauntlet that is hot to the touch that people are seeing, and all these just different curios that just surround this place. Seeing that this between these two gentlemen, there's kind of this little bit of a discussion gets heated. One of them kind of pushes away from the table and is like, "Just I'm done with this. No, you're crazy, and this is nothing. This is nothing. You're losing your mind." And he walks away from the table, and the man is left sitting alone.
I approach the guy at the table and I say, Excuse me, friend, I couldn't help but overhear part of your conversation. Is it true that there are trolls nearby?
Oh, there's more than trolls. I've seen giants. I've seen atrocities. I've orcs. There was just massive amounts of blood.
Did you say orcs?
Orcs, yes.
Where?
Well, it wasn't too far from here. If you go to the north, to the spine of the world, when we came down with one of the merchant caravans, and when we got here, we'd lost many of our cows and sheep and other things that we were bringing. But I imagine I'd seen him setting up some sort of encampment nearby. But I honestly fled for my life. Got here with nothing more than the clothes on my back.
I've been tracking a band of orcs for years now that have led me here. A band that slaughtered the priests and the acolytes of my church many years ago. I have a feeling that these might be those same orcs. What else can you tell me about what you saw and where they might be camped?
It was very unusual. I mean, usually you see a few, giants here and there. They don't typically go together in such large groups. You saw some stone giants. I saw storm giants. We saw all kinds of just maddening things that this is crazy. But as far as the orcs are concerned, they seem to be in servitude in some form or fashion. They were dragging things, bringing them food. They seem to be preparing for some kind of festival. I'm not really sure. It's not something I've ever heard of.
I'm gonna have to investigate. Thank you.
Absolutely, and you be very careful, and you just kind of obviously kind of dusts himself off. His nose ready, bearded dwarven man. Stands up, slops a little bit more beer, hiccups a little bit, and then kind of sets his thing on the table and says, "I've got something to attend to," and he kind of saunters out of the tavern. You have kind of left to your thoughts. You have more people just kind of humming the bustle of normal traffic around you.
Based on what he told me, would I know? I mean, how to get to?
Yeah. So basically saying the spine of the world is pretty well known as far as the Forgotten Realms. Waterdeep being to the south of it. You know that from at least being a somewhat seasoned adventurer, you know that this wouldn't be more than I don't know, a week's travel.
Okay.
With kind of the best steed, which, as far as, just so you all know, when you do get in, you all do have mounts and stuff.
Okay.
You get there, no problem. It'll be
Cool.
that kind of thing.
Okay. I look over and see the mousy, slightly unobtrusive, roguish looking character sitting at the next table over, and I say, "You look like you could handle yourself. I don't suppose you'd be interested in hunting a band of orcs with me."
Oh, I thought you were going to go somewhere else.
What's a girl like you doing in a place like this?
Come on, I'm a paladin.
What's in it?
Oathbreaker.
No, I'm not.
He says, "What's in it? What's in it for me?"
Some kind of vengeance.
Oh, that's right. Oath of Vengeance.
It cut out. Say it again.
Oh, say it again.
What's in it?
Well, usually where there are roving orcs and trolls, there's pilfered treasure. You could help me right some wrongs and also recapture any lost plunder that they may have with them.
Only if I get the...
You cut out, sorry. Only if what?
Only if I get the best.
If we group up together, we'll split things fairly, as should be.
We'll see. And I wink.
So, overhearing the conversation, another man comes from behind you. He's very kind of slickly dressed. He's wearing leather armor that is very finely crafted. He's wearing a cowl that's just kind of typical of any traveling adventurer, mud stains on it. But overall looking weathered, but very, very well put together. And he says, I hear you guys are going for an adventure. I want in.
Is this
Perception.
no, somebody else?
Or insight.
Is this
Okay,
is this the barbarian?
roll me now. It could be. That'd be funny. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. And I'm gonna say do it with advantage because you've been kind of watching the room here. So
Reese?
Hold on. Do it. Is this insight or is this perception?
this would be do perception. And with advantage, mind you.
8.
That is a flat 8 or 18.
18.
Okay, it just keeps cutting off the very last part of what you say. So, okay, so 18. So you, having watched this room, you recognize this guy. This guy has taken a few adventures in your 2 or 3 days that you've spent in this area. You've seen him basically get him drunk, take him out in the back, and then rob him for everything they're worth.
I say.
Oh, no. We hard pass on.
I
say, thanks, but we don't need any of your kind where we're going.
All right. Well, your loss. And he goes. You see him kind of canter off to another group of adventurers. He's kind of listening greasily to kind of the people that are there. So you guys, if you guys want, you guys are able to basically kind of prepare your provisions and things, and you're able to go to the. You get the horses and all those things put together, unless there's anything specific that you guys would like to do.
Let's get to it.
Okay.
It's a one shot.
So you guys move through. You see, again, rolling hills. As you go further to the north, it gets colder and colder. To be expected, getting further from the equator of the planet. And as you kind of get up into these hills, it starts to become more wooded. You're getting more and more different types of trees. You've got firs, you've got aspens, you've got all of these different types of trees that are more hardy and evergreen in nature. And so getting up into this area, you do find a small outpost of what seem to be city guards, just kind of, or more like highway kind of guards that have been sent there. They seem to be a little bit more on edge, but as you approach, you see again just this guardhouse with kind of lamplight. It's late in the afternoon. You see a couple of guys standing around, other guys kind of going back and forth moving things. You hear like kind of the sound of wooden mallets as they're kind of pitching tents, getting things ready.
And we ride up and I say, "Oh, friends."
Who goes there?
A couple of adventurers tracking orcs. Have you heard or seen of any mischief about?
Orcs, you say? There's been plenty of mischief. We've had three different herds of sheep go missing. We've had a whole head of cows just gone overnight. I've been hearing that there's been large bands of orcs and all kinds of nasty things in these parts. But more importantly, you don't want to be going over there. That hill, the giants are culminating together. They're doing something nasty. We don't know what it is yet, but we're going to find out.
Giants? What kind of giants?
Well, all kinds of variety. Normally they don't kind of band together, but right now we've seen hill giants, we've seen storm giants, we've seen stone giants, we've seen all manner of giants, ogres going in and out of there. It's been a real frightful place.
Well, maybe we should check it out. Would any of you care to join us?
So at this point, you guys hear kind of like a screeching eagle type sounds.
purveying from above.
So if you continue purveying,
I'm gonna kind of keep my distance for right now.
You see an eagle in the distance. Just
I'm gonna
kind of circling.
Each circle, I'll get a little bit closer.
I say I've always thought of eagles as a good omen. So if we don't have any of you joining us, I'm confident that we'll be able to figure it out ourselves.
What is it that you think you're gonna do? It's just two of you.
Whatever we need to. But at the very least, we need to figure out what they're up to.
Between the two of you, we've got more power than all the lot back here, but more power to you. If there's anything you need, then let us know. We don't have much here, but we're trying to make do, set up a perimeter, all that.
Good work. Keep it up.
Game, do you have like a symbol on your armor or anything like that? Signifies who you are, like where?
Yeah, I wear a medallion that's from like my whatever helm, like the god is Helm, and I haven't looked into it very much other than that, but like he's the god of protection.
Okay.
So I don't know what that looks like, but whatever that looks like, so that's what I wear as a medallion. That
catches my eye, and I perch on the lowest branch of like a fir.
Okay.
And transform out.
And then just
climb off the branch.
Okay. I say, like in plain sight?
In plain sight, okay. Yeah.
I say, Brother Druid, better omen than I thought.
I just point at your symbol.
Mm-hmm.
I say, you. I've seen you before.
I can't say the same, but for one who can fly through the air on wings, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
I said, no. I've seen you in a vision. And I walk up to you and I tap on your medallion like this. Okay. I've seen this in a vision. I think this is meant to be. I think I'm meant to find you here.
Excellent, because we need help. My roguish companion and I are on the trail of a band of orcs, and there might be giants, sounds like, involved. Causing this What?
You don't know me well enough to be calling me roguish.
We've been traveling together for weeks.
Yeah, it would have been a better part of probably a week and a half.
You're constantly trying to pick my pockets. You're always keeping yourself the larger portion of oatmeal every morning. You are the very definition of roguish.
I feel like if I was picking your pockets, you wouldn't know.
All I know is that I'm not spending money yet. Each day my coin purse is lighter.
You should look into getting a new coin purse.
I say, these honorable men have other duties to attend to, but we could use help from the likes of you as we investigate these giants and these orcs, if you'd be willing to join.
Yeah, I think that's why I found you guys. I've been having some crazy dreams and visions, and my job is to protect nature from darkness, and things have been out of whack. The scales are tipped the wrong way, and I've taken it upon myself to balance that, be the great equalizer. So if you're willing to help.
Sounds like our quests might lead to the same end.
And I think for the time being, we should be friends, and at least while our goals align, we can reevaluate, but looks like we're headed on the same path.
Excellent.
As you're talking with them, you see one of your this is something that neither of you are able to see, but you are able to. As Talion, you look over and you see over Anders' shoulder at Kay a large bear creature, the spiritual bear, that is kind of standing there, and he says, "They seem so puny. Are you sure that these are the right ones?"
I just kind of ignore him and just look at the two of them, and I'm like,
"You can't ignore me forever, friend."
That's all I got. All I got.
And then
I just look at both of you.
You're all I got. Trying to make it not seem so awkward.
all right,
I don't get it.
it's your death.
All right. I see if I can get directions from the guards as to like sort of the general whereabouts of the giants last they saw.
Okay, so kind of seeing, they give you a little bit, and as the night grows darker for this particular night, you do see on the hill these large structures that it's kind of deceitful. Like you're looking at the if you didn't have the trees in scale and by comparison to this building, you'd think that it was a lot closer, and it was just like some kind of a tavern or an inn. But you see in conjunction with these trees in the distance that this is actually a very massive building. This is the sides of it, the way that they're constructing it is not necessarily crude. It is fairly well made, and it seems like that they have kind of settled in, so to speak, in that particular area. And so you see the lamplight and the torches in the distance that you know to be, again, in comparison to the trees that you have between you, to be large, not small in any fashion. The guards give you a little bit of direction, let you know that there is a cave near there that you can kind of hole up and kind of get your bearings without being noticed, that they've seen. They kind of let you know that you have to kind of pay attention. It's here, it's going to be dark, but if you get there soon, then you should be able to get there without being noticed, because their patrols seem to be happening at these specific intervals.
Okay. I suggest we spend a night in this cave in prayer and meditation. We prepare.
I don't believe in prayer, but
Always with the praying and the meditation.
must be a paladin thing. I'll communicate with nature if that's the same to you.
Whichever god you believe in, so be it.
No God, just a mother. Just the mother.
Mother to you, God to me, all the same, friend. All right, we make for the cave.
Okay, so you guys are able to get to the cave.
Real quick, I'll cast Fairy Fire, which will illuminate. Let me read what it does again. Sorry. I've never used these spells before.
Oh, how do you even get to spells?
Go to spells.
The thing that says spells. Got it.
Okay, so in a 60-foot area, so I'll walk up to the edge of the cave and cast this. In a 60-foot area, this will outline objects in blue, green, or violet. I'll choose green.
Okay.
Any creature in the area is outlined with this light.
Okay. So that includes...
And anybody, it looks like anybody within a 10-foot radius can see them. So
okay.
it's
So you guys see as you guys kind of enter this cave.
And then we get advantage on it if anything's in there.
Okay.
Attacks.
So when you come up to the cave, you're casting into the cave before you enter it?
Into the caves.
Okay,
Yeah.
so as you kind of cast into this cave, you guys see into the darkness as it slowly is swallowed up through that kind of ambient occlusion, and the end of the cave. You see as you cast this spell, it's not a very deep cave, and you start to see the glistening outline as he kind of puts this fairy fire out as it settles and sticks to all the different things in the walls. You see a few bats fly out, kind of being startled by the process, but the cave itself, there's nothing that you can see aside from stalagmites, stalactites in a relatively shallow cave. So the back of it seems to have been collapsed. Whatever it was at some point seemed to have been a bear den, but is long since hasn't been there. There's no signs. Okay. At least make me a nature check.
Okay. 3 plus nature. 10.
Okay. So 10. Yeah, you get the sense just from your quick looking around that any of the scat and things in this area, the guano, that's all just pretty standard.
Should be safe in here.
Trying to read up on my own spells and be
I know.
Wait, what can I do?
It's kind of like me trying.
remember.
I was trying to catch up on this module. So
Okay. So we're
Yeah. So you guys basically you're able to take a long rest. Who's taking watch?
I'll take watch since I'm an elf. I only need 4 hours.
Oh, okay, that's right.
So I'll take the first watch and then.
Sure.
Okay, so midway as you're going through the night, nothing. You hear the kind of the whoo, whoo, in the distance of different animals and other things. You hear the thunder in the distance as the weather begins to the pitter patter of rain this time of year, being in the mountains and having just different kinds of things put together, where just your typical normal night. The rain begins to kind of not pour, but it is raining. Let's see, light rain here. If I can get this to work right. Aha.
Oh, so good.
So you guys are sitting in there. You kind of see that every so often. You see the flash of thunder, and the night goes without a hitch. Who's taking second watch?
I'll go rouse Ander. I'll go wake up Ander.
Okay.
I'll just grab your symbol. I have really low charisma, and I just kind of shake.
I have no diplomacy.
I have a 20 charisma.
So you feel him shaking away.
I'm like an 8. So I just kind of awkwardly. I mean, I don't see people a lot. I just awkwardly. I don't know what to do. Shake your thing.
I get up and I go down. I go to the front of the cave and I pull out my lightsaber sword. This is my son's sword. It's just a hilt. It's a hilt, and I turn it on it's
okay. So
fire. So I turn it on and I'll actually turn it on and kind of bury it in the ground a little bit and just kneel down and hold my vigil.
Okay.
It's raining.
So it's like the.
Well, I'm in the mouth of the cave.
No, I know. I'm just saying to you because I'm awkward. It's raining.
Yeah. Through your watch, as you're kind of going through, you see the druid go into meditation. Nothing. Again, you hear more. You see kind of the thunder and things. The rain picks up a little bit more, but overall the night goes on without any problems. So the morning comes. You each wake up and are kind of refreshed. You get the sense it's dark outside because of the overcast, the rain and the thunder and stuff. But you have it's early morning, very early morning. You don't see any kind of if there was dew in the area. Very cold rain from the northern kind of mountains. And you guys kind of wake to this kind of little bit slick, kind of smell of dirt in the air.
Okay.
A great day to travel, covered from above.
Yes. We ready to see what the giants are up to?
Yeah. We should. How close are we? Do we know?
You guys, from where you're at, you guys are probably, what is that going to be in? I don't remember what their unit of measurement is. Essentially, you're probably about a mile, maybe 2 miles away from the area that you know them to be frequenting.
Perhaps. Well, yeah. you can only shape change twice a day. Okay,
yeah.
So maybe don't use it.
Not yet, but
let's got a scout.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are going out. Go ahead and so looking at your different things available. Go ahead and each of you make me a survival check.
Oh, I'm good at that. Our rolls are terrible. 14.
14. Okay.
Survival. Just 3.
3. Okay.
13.
Okay. So you as the paladin are just kind of trudging through the mud, and then I'm using Italian. Italian kind of starts to see a little bit of broken branches, but it's really hard because the water, the soil is soft.
Yeah.
But after a little while, you start to see large depressions into the soil, and more wider clearings of trees and shrubs and brush, and then you come upon a couple of places where it seems that a family of skunks or other small creatures, you're not really sure, that had been stepped on and just kind of turned to a pulp in this thing. But you are able to find your way to the southernmost part of the map, which is where you guys are on Roll20. And you start to approach this building.
Do you have? Does Reese have?
Reese, yeah, you should be able to see it. Reese, can you see on Twitch? If not, I can get you the Roll20.
The map.
I see the map. I just see a circle.
Okay, so it's kind of hard to see them. The people in the middle of it. I'll show you. I'll move them around.
I can see the people.
Okay, so those guys are the. Yeah, so each of these I guess I'll just kind of move around down if you want to move around, but you guys approach to the south of this building. It's still pretty dark, and you see thunderclap in the distance as the lightning kind of carves through the sky, and the silhouette, that blotted silhouette of this large building looms in front of you. There are no longer any lamp lights or torches or other things burning at this time, and so as you approach, it's a plain building. That you see.
I don't see a building.
So right here, you come up closer.
Scroll up a little.
You see it now?
Hold on, it's just going really slow.
If it goes too slow, I can turn off the dynamic lighting.
I can see like a door. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I have a Roll20 account. Do you want me to log?
Yeah, we can do that.
Which
Let me real quick.
Good question.
I think that's. Well, that guy's got a staff. That's got to be Reese.
Do you see in your chat? In your chat, do you see the Dallin? Do you see the link?
Turn my chat off.
Can you, if you see the link to the Roll20 game, can you send that to? Be the 3 lines, and then it disguises it. So like at the very top it says player link for this campaign is blah. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, give me a second. While I hopefully I don't have any unintended visitors because that link's on stream now.
What?
All right, there you go. Let me know when you're in and I'll give you access to one of the characters. I wasn't sure what everybody did, so I just did kind of generic human / one of you has elven stats for vision. Each one of these squares in here is 10 feet.
10 feet.
So expect that whenever you move a square, it's going to be 10 feet instead of the 5.
Okay.
But you do come upon this large front doors of this great. They're basically iron-bound log affairs. They're a foot in thickness. Each are about 7 feet wide and 16 to 18 feet tall. These are very large, heavy doors. It's almost like an outpost or a keep, if you will. The buildings while they're kind of roughly hewn, it's pretty well put together for the amount of time that you guesstimate and understand that they've been spending the week, maybe 2 weeks building these things and putting it together. You see through the darkness and kind of that kind of stuff. The door that's in front of you, and then there's the building itself in its thing. But there don't seem to be any windows in this encampment, and light in and of itself. Everything seems to be relatively quiet.
Okay. I turn to Kai and say, "You want to scout it out?"
Sure thing. And I'm gonna sneak.
Okay. And you are, let's see, I believe this one. So where are you sneaking to? Through the front door?
Yeah, I want to see if I can peek through is there like a keyhole or anything?
On this, no. It seems to be like a flat-faced kind of door, if you will, banded together. Between the two logs, there's not a huge amount to see inside. There are places where there's maybe a sliver that you could see. So if you wanted to, you could do perception check with disadvantage, or you could try and open the door.
Would I be able to slide my knife like
invisibility
under the door so I can pull a sixth sense or a science and see if there's anyone on the other side?
Sure. Yeah, let's see. So this particular one, yeah, you've got just enough room that you could probably stick your dagger down in there, use the reflection to see it in your eyes. Looking inside, you don't seem to see a whole lot. Make me a perception check, and we'll see how much you see.
22.
22. Okay, so kind of you're tipping it one way and the other. Everything in the room seems proportionally large, and you settle upon a large, to one side of the door, a large, hairy, just, is corpulent the right word? Very large, flabby, just giant, leaning up against the door, snoring. Kind of seeing that, you tip it to the other direction, and you see another one adjacent to it. It seems that these two guards, if you call them that, are sleeping at the moment. But these are two very large hill giants.
Okay. I'm going to go back and report that to these two.
Okay.
Well, should we circle around and see if there's another way in? Or would you like to maybe cause a commotion out in the woods, see if we can lure them out here, one or two at a time?
So I'm going to show this to players. You should be able to see it if you're logged in. This is what you're seeing.
Nice. Corpulent, good word.
Yes.
Let's go around the back. Let's see if there's a back door.
Yeah, let's see if there's a way to get in through their rear.
Awkward.
I just look at him and just shake my head.
Yeah. So do you guys want to do run the perimeter?
Yeah, let's run.
And I wink. I'm going to stealth while I do.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me stealth checks, please, everyone. And we're going to do for each basically quarter of the house. We'll do another stealth check.
Cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay, he's casting Pass Without a Trace.
Because I think I'm in plate mail, so I have disadvantage.
Plus
right?
10 to your stealth check.
Okay.
All the hinges and stuff are
Yeah.
clink, 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 clink.
So that's still a 21.
Okay, 21.
18.
I'm at a 24.
A 24. All right. And what was yours?
18.
18. Okay, so you all make it through without any issues, kind of going around. There's the occasional points where your boots kind of sink into the mud, but you move up into the grass and you're able to see up here. And you come upon a door.
You can't it won't let you two-finger scroll, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there we go.
Come on, keep going. I know it's here somewhere. You keep going. The wall seems to go on forever.
Okay.
And then you come upon another door.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look in there.
Okay. I just nod to Kai and nod to the door.
Okay. So he gives you.
I'm gonna do the same thing I did. I want to hold it with my knife.
Okay. So let me get this here. Oh gosh. All right. So hold on. I've got a hill giant block in front of my face, and I can't get it to go away. So yeah, for using the iPad. Okay. So kind of going in, looking down in the same fashion. You get the similar thing. This particular door seems to be a little more heavily trodden. You see a lot more troughs of what seems things that have been drug here. You see a couple of places where they've knocked down the trees and they've drugged the trees in the trenches that they have carved into the earth, in the soft soil, as they've been building this encampment. Looking inside of the building on the bottom, 22, 22, 22, 22, 22. All right, guys, bear with me. So you see in there, roll me a perception check as you're kind of sticking your knife under the door and kind of seeing what's going on. By the way, I have yours as the black ninja looking dude. And then...
Roll 20 still hasn't loaded.
I lied, you're the green one. If it's black, you got to go all the way to the right on the side. It's Fog of War is what you're seeing.
Zoom out until you see it, and then target over.
Yeah, you gotta zoom out and then zoom way in. You guys are itty bitty. You're on the far right side of the page.
About halfway up.
About halfway up. I'll ping so you can see it. Do you see it? You working?
Am I the guy on top?
Yes.
Lightning.
I think so. I'm not sure. I put all three of you in there, and you guys choose which one you want and just run with it.
I'll just be the glowy staff dude.
I rolled a 17 plus 11, so 26.
Okay, 26. So upon looking in there, you start to put it down where it would kind of shine, and then you get this kind of an odd sensation, a smell, something that you haven't smelled in a while, and you start to want to sneeze, and you realize as you put the knife down even closer, you see a bunch of direwolves running free in this particular area. There seem to be, as far as you can count, there maybe 14 of them running around in this area.
Wow.
It's a very large open area. This seems to be some kind of like a free range kennel. You see a few of them kind of sniffing around.
What do you know about dire wolves?
But nothing seems to catch your attention.
What do I know about direwolves? Should I roll for
Did
it?
she tell you about direwolves? What do you know about? Roll for nature check, please.
19 plus 7, 16. Or
26.
26. Okay, so you know that they are large. They're pack hunters. They are easily domesticated comparatively to some other creatures. They are, depending on how people treat them, how they are raised, they can either be kind of like a more protective nature, or they can be very kind of ravenous, or used as mounts for some races. You don't get the sense that these seem to be pets.
Okay. Pets
or guard dogs.
How big of a challenge? How dangerous are they to us?
He knows that it's a challenge rating of 1. So that's 14 challenge rating.
They could hurt us. They could hurt us if we're not careful.
In large quantities,
individually,
they could overwhelm you.
Not so bad, but
I wonder if we can open the door. I'll turn into a bird. Be sitting there. You guys go on either side, and they just see an eagle, and I take off, and maybe they'll chase me, and you guys can get in, and we can avoid them.
Or does anyone have like a cantrip for like a minor illusion or something that they could do, like a rabbit running off into the?
Let's see.
What do you have for sorcerer spells, Kai? Is it mostly offensive?
I can light stuff on fire, and I can acquire them.
We still have pass without a trace on us.
Yes, yeah, plus 10
Last
to your
an hour,
stealth
so we
checks.
might even be able to sneak around somehow. But
Or we could keep going and see if we find another slightly less dangerous door.
I vote we go back the way we came, because 2 hill giants versus.
I don't know. I think
the dogs.
I think 14 dogs would fall easier than 2 hill giants.
I don't know.
I just hate to kill nature, but the giants might deserve to die. So I'm torn. I can see. Both have their advantages, both have their disadvantages. Maybe we should look for a third door. That's a little more advantageous.
Let's keep going and see if we can find a better option.
And knowing for your reference, knowing the nature of hill giants, they're usually chaotic and evil in nature. So,
my scale in my head just went, clink, and I'm like, oh, gotta balance.
Yeah.
Gotta kill him.
So you guys go ahead and go back to the front door.
No, I want to keep going.
We're going
Let's
to
see
the
if
north.
we can find another.
So you guys keep marching to the north. Everybody make me a stealth check. Make sure you have the plus 10 from pass without a trace.
Natural 20.
Perfect.
Oh wait, it's disadvantage.
Natural 1.
So buffed 20.
9, 22.
22. Okay. What about you? Oh no, they're not. Kai. I'm sorry, guys.
All right.
It's like second nature.
It's
just
a
to
one
call you
shot.
by your other one. It's a one shot. Yeah.
Stop going. Go the other way. There we go.
What did Kai roll for the stealth check?
35.
35. Yes. Everybody. So you all make it again, the grass that you're on, the light footfalls, the pass without a trace, plus the rain, you have excellent kind of cover to kind of from where you're coming from. So you guys are seeing, bring that down. You guys are seeing another door. This one seems to be a little bit smaller in nature, but it's an access door nonetheless. You get the sense that there are spirits speaking to me.
I thought that was upstairs. I was literally like, are we in a haunted house?
No, it was. I don't remember what this. I'll switch to this other song. I don't know what that song sounds like. You see this door. It's similar to the others. This particular path, it seems a little bit less worn, but it is frequented nonetheless.
Okay.
You do the same thing?
Yeah, same thing. Same thing. I want to check underneath it.
Okay. And let's see. So you go ahead and you put down, roll your perception check. You're lucky it rolled a natural 1.
I'm scared now.
25, 17 plus 5. Or plus 8.
Okay, so looking in, you put your knife down, and almost immediately when you're seeing the reflection, you see fur, just like right up in your face. So you kind of like recoil, pull back, and then pull it to the side. One of the dire wolves is sleeping in, so sort of this seems to be the other end of that room.
Alright. This is the easier option, but...
So I'm going to relay. Oh,
Okay.
I say,
I'm torn. I'll let the paladin decide, as you have to hold to honor.
if we open the door and they attack us, we have to defend ourselves.
It's true. Pains me to say, but it's true. I just like, forgive me, mother.
So in looking in there, and just I'll add to that there's a few dogs that are up and about and licking their paws or whatever, and then some other ones that are just kind of like playing around. But most of them seem to be dormant. It is pretty early in the morning, like we're pre-dawn.
Do I have
type
rations?
areas.
I should probably have rations, right? What if we just open the door and huck some rations to the far end? Maybe they'll go over there and leave us alone.
Anybody have a tennis ball?
Ready, you go. Fetch.
Let's see. I've got...
Well, you have the best nature, and probably is animal handling a thing.
Yeah.
So I think you should.
I'm gonna pull on the hood of invisibility, so now I'm invisible.
Well, then they're just gonna attack us.
No. Just so that I can throw my rations without them seeing me.
Okay.
So I take it back off. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and then I put it back on.
Okay, we kind of we back up.
Can I
like maybe against the wall? I guess.
Will it be easy for me to open the door? Maybe like
This door is much smaller, and so this door it would be a little easier too. Yes.
Okay.
The front doors, you get the sense that these are very large, heavy doors, and if you open them, then it's going to take a lot of strength.
I'm going to check the door to make sure there's not a trap on it before I do this. Can I?
I want to.
Why don't you do that? Why don't you check for the
So
trap?
as you start to do that, you're starting to look. You see your bear friend kind of like saunters up and. Crap. You're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Bear, that was not the time.
Better not screw this up.
What kind of role is this?
This would be you're trying to
Checking for traps.
checking for traps. That would be, I think, it's a perception or investigation because you're looking for it.
Oh, I actually have a high investigation. I'll do it next time. I have a spell that says
I got an
detect
18
18.
on an investigation.
Okay. So 18. Looking at it, you kind of go around the doors. This door isn't trapped at all. You've seen a lot of different doors. This door is just. It doesn't seem to be locked. It's just a heavy door.
All right.
Their expectation, you get the sense, at least from your tinkering with it, is that they believe that they're just so big that an ant's not going to open my door, kind of thing. So.
All right. I guess I get that information from Kai, and I say, okay, everybody, back up.
Okay, we're just back against the wall.
And I stealthily open the door like a foot, maybe 2 feet, just enough that I can move my arm like that. And I take a ration out of my pack and I fling it across the room as far as I can, however far that I can throw it.
Okay. Okay. So you throw it into the room. Make me a strength check. Let's see how far it goes.
What is my strength? It's on a separate page, which is kind of annoying. Is there just a strength check? Is it just like my...
Just flat strength or athletics?
It's just your strength,
which
plus whatever your strength is.
Which is 91. So 8.
Okay. So you,
weak.
so you wind up and you're envisioning, okay, I'm going to hit the opposite wall. So you throw it and it makes about midway through the room. There's kind of like a pile of little puppies that are kind of sitting there. And the sack hits and kind of slumps down. And you just pause.
Hold my breath.
You're just holding your breath. One of them kind of puts his head up and looks around kind of. And he starts eating the rations. It kind of starts to arouse a few of the others that are in that area, but most of them seem to stay asleep. That one devours the ration pretty healthily, kind of looking around, licking its chops.
I go inside the room. I leave it like the door foot open, and I just like, you can't see me, and I don't have message. This is so hard.
I know.
I'll leave it open a little bit.
I want to stealth.
Okay. Both of you make a stealth check for me then.
We still have Pass Without a Trace, right?
Yes, yeah, Pass Without a Trace. Still.
And do I get advantage?
It's been about 20 minutes roughly since you got in.
Okay.
Do I get advantage because I'm invisible on top of Pass Without a Trace?
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
25.
Okay. So you beat basically all the dogs that are around. The one, as you kind of had pushed the door open, thankfully had been sitting in front of the other door, and it swung open just enough where you could kind of tiptoe and sidestep around it and get around. As you step into the room, you see in here a couple of different things. You see to the side you have a door here.
Okay.
And then you've got, again, throughout the rest of the room, as far as you can't really see it here, but let me drag one of you around to give you a little bit more vision. But you see kind of the structure of the room itself, a lot of dire wolves.
Okay.
And you guys are kind of up here in this corner.
I want to check the door, how I've been checking them.
Okay, go ahead and check the door. You roll an investigation? Or are you doing a perception?
Perception.
Perception? Okay. So go ahead and roll your perception check.
19.
19. So I'm just going to set you on this side so you can kind of see a little bit in there. As you're kind of peeking through there, you see a couple of different servants moving around. It seems to be early hours of the morning. They're not paying too much attention. There's little pots and pans clattering around. You see whole hams, whole cows, just being, they are picking them up live and just spitting them and then sticking them over on the fire to roast. Looks like the fire itself is not large and sweltering yet, so you get the sense that they've just kind of started their morning task of
Are these
creating food.
Human servants, or
No, these are large hill giant servants.
Oh.
Or you get the sense of their servants based on they're doing servant things. I don't know how you
So
know
they're
they're
hill
servants.
giants still.
Yes, they're hill giants.
Oh,
Okay, so I tell Alan's character, whose name I don't remember.
Talion.
What was it?
Talion, like Talon, but with an I.
I tell Talion. I'm going to call him Talon the whole time. I'm just going to be...
That's okay.
That's okay. It goes.
I do the same things. It's so crazy.
Hey, Talon. I think this is the servant.
Say, be quiet. There's dire wolves.
You get the sense too that this particular area is servants' quarters. So I guess I'll give you the rest of it. There were cots, tables, chairs, stools, all those different kinds of things. There's cluttered with old clothing and junk, in addition to all the other things that were going on. You see, as far as where you were at, as they were kind of making some of this, the morning things, you see one male, as far as you can tell. It's kind of, I mean, they're all hill giant. They're big, ugly, sweltering, gross looking things. But you get the sense that a couple of them may be female, and the one ogre is kind of showing off, flexing his flabby muscles and just Jabba the Hutting it up.
Trying to woo
That's what we need to engage.
Pretty much.
I don't know if we go in guns blazing or try and like talk.
I don't know
and
how.
see what's going on.
I don't know how Preston's gonna DM this. So like that would sway me.
That's okay. We'll figure it out.
Whatever you want to do. You're on the outside. You don't.
How do you want to do this?
You could just blaze in there if you want.
I'm still out there, and I just figure like, all right, I gotta see what's going on, so I'm gonna try and creep in to.
It's been about half hour now. Past the penetration.
About a half hour, yeah. You got about 30 minutes left.
I have disadvantage.
Yeah, but you get plus 10. Plus your modifier.
2. So I got a 13 because I can't get lower than a natural 1. As I'm trying to like creep in the door to join these guys.
Okay, so you're walking in. You start to stumble a little, and your shoe squeaks a little bit on the floor. And you're kind of seeing in the room, but you stop and you pause. Each between the other two of you, you just kind of like hold them back. The dogs kind of settle again, and then you kind of creep forward, and you're able to get to the door.
Okay.
Standing there. Nothing has seemed to. Nothing has noticed you yet.
I
can't move you through a wall.
I tire of all of this sneaking. I say we either engage with the wolves or engage with the trolls.
I say the trolls. I say the trolls, but I whisper that. I just want to make sure we're speaking.
Stage whisper.
Stage whisper.
Okay. Well then, let's go in.
I just shrug. Alright.
Okay. So you go ahead. Are you?
Although I guess wait. Sorry. Before we do, sorry. Wait.
Yep. Go ahead.
Perhaps.
Recon.
Perhaps the front door with the 2 trolls would be an easier obstacle than whoever these 3 might be. Plus the other ones were sleeping. We could get the jump on them.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back out and go around the front door.
So as soon as we get out of
Going
the
all the way.
As soon as we get out of the door, I want to drop my hood so I don't waste my invisibility.
Not a worry. So for brevity, you guys are able to move around. You get the sense that there's no windows with the rain, things like that. It's very difficult for anything to have detected you, at least in the outskirts of this particular area. You don't see any patrols going on just yet.
Okay.
Get you guys to go pull you down here without dropping you in the middle of one of the buildings. We got this little thin sliver on the side of the map that I gotta drag out. If I drop you in the wrong place, it'll reveal everything inside.
Okay. I turn to Kai and say, see if you can open the door without waking them.
Okay, I try to do that.
I have an arrow drawn just in case he wakes him up.
Alright.
Holding in action.
So roll me a strength check, please. You're opening the door, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So roll me a strength check. It needs to be above a 10.
I guess I could have done it. I just figured that he'd be more stealthy. Cheap.
As far as you guys can hear on this. What's that?
It's an 8.
An 8?
It's an 8.
So you see her try and pull and just dig her heels in. You see the mud just kind of.
I say, okay, move over. And then I try.
You hear the thunderous snoring of just the hill giants on the other side of the door.
Okay. So I try to slowly open it. I have a +9 to my strength, so even if I roll a 1, it'll be a 10, I guess. But it's a 22.
22, that works. So at this point, she's kind of standing there, and you walk up and kind of get your hand on the bottom of the door because there's not like a handle.
Yeah.
And you kind of dig in and pull, and you're expecting to have it be a lot harder. But with these gloves, you feel just the stoutness surge and just, or the belt. You feel it just pull.
Electrocutes your stomach.
You pull as what seems to have been, just like the same as opening any other door, and just slide it wide open, slowly.
Okay.
The rain pitter patters. You see the two giants before you.
I look in. Like, can I see any other giants? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna get
I don't want to attack these guys
vision.
if it's gonna bring 10 giants down on us, but.
Dynamic lighting. Oh, ignore that.
Oh no, acid!
I'm clicking to get the dynamic lighting, and it did a special effect instead.
We got acid on us.
What the crap?
There's a black dragon inside.
Got the right one? There we go. Delete. Delete. Cool. Objects and tokens. Alright. So as you kind of poke your head in, you see the two hill giants sitting what seems to be kind of like a guard post, if you will. They're slumped up against these crates, arm up against them. One of them has a hock of ham that is just mostly eaten, and then nearby they have these cudgels that, well, they're more like trees, but cudgels for giants. Both snoring.
Okay. I turn on my lightsaber and
Before he attacks, I want to make sure I get this spell.
Oh yeah, I gotta prepare myself because I have like things.
I want to cast flame arrows and touch my quiver of arrows, so they are all now flaming arrows when I shoot them.
Okay.
Gives me an extra d6 fire damage.
And I'm gonna put Hunter's Mark on the nearest the one closest to the wall.
Okay. So everybody go ahead and roll for initiative. Give me a second while I get it open.
Pass that up.
Nice. This is going to be actually freaking good damage.
So that's an extra 1d6. Okay, initiative.
I'm getting each of your...
20.
Okay,
25.
say the name first and then your number, and then I'll put it in.
Ander 4.
Kai 25.
Italian 23.
25. Italian 23. And then 15. And you guys are getting a surprise round because they are sleeping. I got rolled a natural 1 on his initiative.
At least I beat someone.
Okay, so the turn, basically we're gonna have the surprise round, which will basically follow the turn order. So Kai first, Talion, then Ander, and then we'll go back into the regular round of combat. So go ahead, Kai. What are you doing?
I whisper. Let's focus our attacks on one at a time.
Pick the one in the corner?
Advance, yeah.
Stick the one in the corner first.
Hold on, I have to look to see what I can.
Did you take the assassin specialization?
I did.
So so this round, all of your attacks are going to be crits.
Sweet.
Nice.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna make 3 attacks, which is what I think I could.
Now that you're out of the rain.
Is this like a covered? Okay.
Yeah, you've come into what seems to be like a foyer or some kind of an entrance hall, if you will.
There's a magical item nearby.
Right.
It's the mirror of Erised.
I don't Where do I look to see how many actions I?
So
If you go to your actions tab on D&D Beyond,
it tells you attacks per action. I think as a rogue you get 2 attacks. Unless you get to do something for a bonus. I don't know.
Oh, I have attacks per action 1. But I do get a bonus action. So I'm going to use my bonus action to do a second attack, then do this attack. So it auto crits, right?
Because he is. This is my first time doing it with them. So you attack. He is sleeping, which means he's essentially unconscious. He's not conscious, which means
you get advantage.
You get advantage, and then that first hit, because you're in you have the assassin one. Does critical damage, right?
Yeah, it automatically crits.
It's an auto crit.
Just for that round.
For that first round.
I don't know that you can use a bonus action as an attack,
right?
Unless it's like your racial or something like that.
But I'm pretty sure that rogues get 2 attacks at level 5.
Cunning action, you can use a bonus action each turn to hide,
disengage, or dash.
But I also have 2 weapons.
So you have the 2 weapon fighting. Was that the feat or was that the?
You take the attack action and attack with a light melee weapon. You're holding one hand. You can use the bonus action to attack with a different light melee weapon that you're holding in the other hand.
Okay, and that one does not get your proficiency bonuses, right? Or if it's the feat, I think you do.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, cool. So you go ahead and make your first.
Take it.
Make your 3 attacks. Go ahead and roll all the attacks and then roll the damage.
Okay. Natural 20.
Natural 20. Nice. So it auto crits. Let's see. How does that work? So if your hit crits, regardless of if it hits, and it crits.
I guess
it's just a crit.
It's just a crit.
Just regular crit? Okay,
yeah.
So you
it doesn't quadruple all my damage because that would.
I know, right? That's what I was trying to consider. I'm like,
but keep in mind that that as a rogue, I think at your level you get 2, like once per turn you get 2d6 as sneak attack damage. As long as if you're attacking with advantage or if you're attacking an enemy who's within 5 feet of
someone else.
Once
and those do crit, like you double those also.
4d6 worth of damage to one creature.
Okay. So go
once per turn.
So first let's resolve just the attacks and then we'll do the damage. Go ahead and roll 2 more attack rolls. The first one was a 20. What's the second 2?
An 8.
Okay. Both hit. And what's the?
And an 8.
And an 8.
An 18 again.
Okay, so 2 18s. Yes, all 3 hit. So go ahead and roll damage for all 3. And does the crit for assassination happen for the entire round or the first attack?
All of your attacks made during a sneak attack are crits.
Okay, so all of them. So roll all of them. We'll double it, and then add your because your other bonus does not go into that double. So go ahead and do your damage first. We'll double it, and then we'll do your extra sneak attack.
Okay, so my normal damage and then the extra damage for the sneak attack.
Correct. Sneak attack damage separate. Yes.
And that's not doubled.
That's not doubled. Correct. Your normal damage is. And any like weapon, special damage, all that stuff, all that goes in, but not sneak attack.
What's your rogue level, Reese? Like how
8.
You're a level 8 rogue and a level 4 sorcerer or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
so it looks like I do 1d4 plus 4.
Okay. It's for the dagger?
Yeah, plus a 1d6 acid damage.
Okay. So take both. roll those, and then we'll double that first one.
And his sneak attack is 46.
Sweet.
At 8th level.
All the maths.
So he only gets 1 attack, but if he's doing sneak attack, it's a 46 bonus damage.
Yeah.
So, and you get an attack with both your weapons.
So for all my attacks,
Okay.
the damage was 21.
Okay. All 3 of them.
All 3 of them.
That's total damage, not individual?
Preston should only be 2.
That's total damage, and that's not doubled.
One attack, and then his offhand weapon.
Yeah.
So he does 2 attacks, and then he did with the bonus action. Is that the offhand attack?
Yeah. So he gets 1 regular attack, and then his bonus action can be his offhand.
Yeah.
Okay. So I only should have rolled
2.
Okay, so that would be 21. So, that's 42 doubled.
21 was for 3, so that's -6 out of my
Okay.
21. So 15 times 2, so 30.
30. Okay, so that's 30 points of damage flat.
And
then
I'm going to roll
8d6.
It's
just
46.
Yeah. But you get to double that also, because it crits too.
Oh, okay.
Just on a sneak, just for your surprise round.
Yep. Then the subsequent rounds, it'll just go back to normal damage.
Yeah, unless he rolls a natural 20 and crits.
Yeah.
That's another 30 points doubled. That includes doubled because I rolled 15. So doubling that would be 30.
60 total.
Yeah. 60 between all my stuff. So 60 total.
60 between everything. Okay, cool. So as you see this hill giant just sleeping there, his hock of ham in one hand, and then the big large cask of mead between the two of them. As standing there, you come in with your first dagger, and where are you just like stabbing him in the throat, or he's just slumped in the corner?
I stab him like in the femoral artery on his leg.
Okay.
Because I'm short, I'm not going to be able to reach his throat.
Fair point. Okay, so as you come in, you get that unwashed hill giant smell, and you stab him in the femoral artery, and just instantaneous, just gouts of blood just starts gouting out at your face, and he starts to awaken his senses a little bit. Go ahead and Talion, what are you doing?
I have my flaming arrow. I'm just gonna shoot it into the guy's mouth because he's now roaring and crap. So I hit him in the back of the throat.
Roll your attack. Does Druid get 2 attacks?
Sorry,
or is it just 1?
My attack first. I think I just get 1.
Okay. I don't know if they're like rangers.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. All right. So what's your damage?
So this is
damage and double it.
I guess. Does the fire damage crit too, or is that just going to be a standard?
It's cumulative. Yeah, that's a part of the total damage. Yeah.
So 16.
16.
You don't get any plus.
Oh, plus 3. 19.
So 19 doubled. That's going to be 20, 38.
That was double.
That was double.
Yeah, so 19 is double.
My attacks aren't very strong.
Okay, no worries.
19.
So minus 19. So as he starts to it comes around, and you see this in the back of his throat as his hat falls off, and you see just the flames start to pour out of his eyes, and you see him just kind of like trying to still shake sleep from his eyes.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Ander?
Attacking him. So let's see, made with advantage. That's nice. It was 20. Gosh. Yeah, 20 to hit.
Okay, does hit.
Sweet.
I feel like I'm a little overpowered, but I'll probably be dead before the night's over. So
he's gonna call him mom. Like.
Okay, so this, and so I have this plus my hunter's mark damage, right? So 7 plus my, I have a improved, whatever this is called, Radiant Strike, Divine Smite.
Divine Smite, okay. So you're casting that as your...
Well, no. At level 11, you get it every hit.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then if you want to use a spell slot for more, you can.
Okay.
So I'm not going to do
go ahead
that.
And add your radiant damage to it.
So that was... Sorry, what did I say I rolled? It was a 5 plus 4, 9. 7, 16.
Okay.
Plus... 13, so 29 for that hit, and I get 2 attacks. So for my second attack, assuming he's still alive.
I didn't catch that number. What was it again?
29.
29. Okay.
So that was.
So this is your second attack that you're doing?
Yes.
So what?
Unless he's dead.
At this point, if he so at this point when you come in with this first strike. You see him kind of like lurch forward, kind of reaching for his inner leg, just kind of grabbing, trying to stop the gouts of blood from coming out. And as he kind of comes down and kind of rips this thing out of the back of his throat, he kind of looks at you and makes eye contact. And then you come in. How do you want him
to? Just I'll decapitate him with my lightsaber. Okay,
so he comes forward. You're gonna hear this from not a lightsaber, but just a generic laser sword.
It's a sun sword.
It's a sun sword. You just see this, and you just see this billowing mass of just gelatinous, corded, nasty hill giant head plop to the floor, and just this shower of blood that hits the floor, and he collapses in just kind of a wrecked heap.
Nice. Okay, and I turn to the other one. I don't have Hunter's Mark on this guy, so I'll make an attack against the other sleeping dude if I can. Nice. So that's a 28 to hit.
It hits. Go and roll for damage.
So this is just 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 13 is 19 damage.
Apparently I do
19
have
damage?
2-weapon fighting.
Everybody does. It's just if you have the feat or not, whether you can do it with your proficiency modifier or not. Well, how much damage is that again? I'm sorry.
19.
Get distracted. 19.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss an action.
You're good, man. Okay, so he pulls 19. So you've attacked. You hit him. This guy, he's starting to rouse a little bit from where you're at. And remind me which weapons you're wielding at the moment.
Just my sword.
Just your sword?
Yeah, sword.
So you got the one, and then as you come back across the other one, you just glaze him like right across the chest, give him a nice gash across, and searing pain. And at this point, he sits up, and his bloodshot eyes, and he reaches back and grabs his cudgel.
Uh-oh.
And Kai, it's your turn. That is the end of the surprise round. We are now into official combat.
Sweet. That was pretty dope, I would say.
I've never seen this.
Just like straight up Anakin, baby.
60 damage from Kai on the initial.
You could have taken your time like from Force Awakens when he has the Claymore one. He's like...
That's so cool.
Alright, Kai, what you doing?
Is anyone within 5 feet of the other hill giant?
Yeah, I am.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
So you'll still get your sneak attack.
I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack in the same way, but I'm only going to attack once. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Green Flame Blade.
Okay. It's a warlock ability. That's the one I wanted for Brown.
So wait, you are a rogue sorcerer warlock?
Nope.
No,
it's just also available as a sorcerer ability.
Oh, I did not know that. Cool. Sweet.
So, I had another 2d8 to my 1d4 plus 4.
Okay.
That's okay. We're
really have a lot of buffs.
Go ahead and roll your attack and damage.
A lot of offense probably between the two of us.
Yeah.
That's probably good.
Okay.
You just see him thrashing around as he's pulling it. Whoa.
What is your sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're good.
Continue.
He was just thrashing.
I was just curious what the spell does that Reese is that
Green Flame Blade, when he casts it, I believe, does it not jump to another creature if it's in range of something else? So basically encases his blade in flame, he attacks something with it, and then that damage, I think, does damage to that creature, and it jumps to another one nearby if it's near there. Let me confirm. Green.
Part of the action used to cast the spell, you must make a melee attack with the weapon against one creature. On hit, the target suffers the normal attack.
Yep.
The green fire leaps from your target to a different creature of your choice, and you can see within 5 feet of it. Second creature takes fire damage equal to your spell casting modifier, ability modifier.
Correct. So if I'm reading this correctly, I think.
But it adds an extra 1d8 fire damage to the target.
Yes. And then the second creature is 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability. Yep. So you've got your flame blade, and then you see a second green flame blade start to emanate from this dagger, and a flash of just a blur of darkness, and
18 to hit.
That hits. Roll for damage. What we'll probably do is when you're making attacks, we'll just roll the damage at the same time, and that way it's all in one.
I rolled. This is too many dice, you guys.
I hear you. So 1d4 plus 4. What's that?
1d4 plus 4 is 8.
Okay.
I have to find my d8.
Okay. I've got one here if you need. That was funny.
Pass it through the screen.
What you got?
Plus 12 to that 8, so 6. No.
I'm doing it.
Points of damage.
Okay, perfect. So you see that flame as it kind of goes through, and normally where that flame would kind of find an additional target, you see it kind of just flick out, and you see it blast against the wall and then just dissipate from there. What's your second attack?
He was just making one attack plus the flame.
Plus the green flame? Okay. Because that's your that was your bonus action. Okay, got it. All right, so you attacked. Is there anything else?
Now,
I think.
Sorry, Reese. Did you add your sneak attack damage? Because once per turn, as long as
I did have my attack damage.
So go ahead and roll your sneak attack damage as well.
Dang,
46.
powerful. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm just gonna play rogue next time.
It only works if you.
I'm gonna get an app to manage all this stuff.
Like Roll20?
D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
That's the one thing I wish that you could do from the app, is just to be able to roll from it. Even if it doesn't have a map, just rolling.
Yeah.
And have it help resolve.
So that 46 doesn't get any kind of like, it doesn't get any of your plus damage or anything like that. It's just like one attack, like your weapon plus your plus to damage,
and because
plus 46.
Sneaking, then you get the extra oomph.
Didn't see you coming.
I rolled 3 4s and a 2.
4,
So
8, 12,
14.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
so you stick them, and again, this hill giant not quite ready. You come from the side, and this time going for his kind of Achilles tendon. You jab your dagger deep in his leg, and kind of feel it that twang as it kind of plays the string on his Achilles tendon, but it doesn't quite incapacitate him. Okay, Talion.
All right,
Andrew, you're on deck after the next hill giant.
Hold on, let me see what this does.
This is the hard part too, because it's like we're trying to understand
the
whole new mechanics.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
it's a lot easier with something.
What do I do? I'm gonna cast Ice Storm.
Okay.
What's
the requirements in the room? There might be a space requirement. Some of them say it has to be a certain height.
Ground in a 20-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder. How high are the ceilings?
These ceilings, get it in front of me, I believe. Power guard gates. Ceilings. Height varies from 16 to 32 feet.
So too small. Okay, so never mind. I'm just gonna shoot another arrow. Let's see. 19.
Okay, 19.
That's gonna be 8 damage.
-8. All right. So you see another arrow sticks into him, and he's gonna. At this point, the one hill giant. That hill giant is going to make an attack. He's going to be using his module here. Come on, open. Open Sesame, please. Keep having to jump around these pages. Okay, so he's going to roll his attack. This is going to be 2 attacks. The first one is with his great club. +8, so 8, 9, 10. And he's going to be swinging currently at the paladin in front of him.
Bring it on.
So that was 10. Does that hit?
No.
Okay.
I need to keep track.
And that is an 18 plus 8. That is a 26. Does that hit? Okay, so the first one you parry and he kind of pulls it off, and unexpectedly you see him kind of deftly spin it around and then come back at you with the same momentum. And this one is for 3, 8 plus 5. 1, 2, 3. So that is a 15, 20, 30. No, 25. Sorry,
25 damage?
25 total, not 30. Ow. 25 total. So he comes down, and you feel like, again, you're kind of ready for it, but you haven't really faced these hill giants, and you feel him just kind of crush you down. You feel the floor beneath you start to give way as under the weight of this blow. Just you get the sense that these are very powerful creatures.
Yes, I sense that.
Ander, it's your turn.
All right, I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna attack back. So first attack is a 32 to hit.
That hits for sure.
I'm sorry, but as a bonus action, I can transfer my hunter's mark.
Yes,
it lasts an
because
hour.
It died. Yes, you can switch it over. So make sure to add your hunter's mark at damage.
I'm gonna do that. So for 6.
So I'm gonna put hunter's mark on
15 plus 11, 24 damage.
Okay, 24 total.
And then next attack was a 25 to hit.
Does hit. Roll for damage.
For 13, 11, 24 damage.
24 damage.
Is
Okay.
that 24 and 24?
Nice.
Minus 24. So as you're kind of coming around, and that included your radiant damage?
Yes. Yeah.
So as you're coming around, this same guy, he kind of smashes you down, and he kind of starts to grin and sees that he's put a lot of hurt on you. But at this point, you kind of shrug it off, and as you come up, you take your sword and lob off his arm, and you just see this large, just corpulent match just as it hits the floor. Coming back around the other direction, you slice again where you could come across the chest. As his entrails just spill across the floor, he falls to the floor dead. And you see the still steaming body parts just as he.
And I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Exactly. So that's the end of this combat round.
Okay.
You guys have killed him. You can looking now that there's a little bit less stuff in the room. Looking around the room, you do see there are a couple different bags, satchels. This seems to be kind of like people when they come in, they leave their things here like a mud room, if you will, but just giant.
Okay. I search it for any. Let's see if there's anything valuable or anything that would tell us
what's going on,
what they're doing here.
Okay. So, kind of going through some of these different things. Everybody if you can make me an investigation check as you're looking.
15.
15.
13.
Okay.
Dice are rolling so bad today.
I want to.
What's yours, Reese?
It's a perception check.
That is correct. Investigation. You guys are looking through bags.
That's a natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. What were you saying?
I'm gonna lay on hands on myself and heal myself.
Okay. Go ahead and use some of that pool. That pool,
Yeah.
I believe, for each point used. Remind me. There's 15.
It's just I have
15 total points that you can heal.
I have 60 hit point pool.
Okay, so you
At
can use
level 12.
1 to 1.
Exactly.
However much you want.
Or I can use 5 of them to cure a disease, neutralize a poison.
And remove it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Okay,
gonna
go for
heal
it.
myself.
Go ahead and heal. So looking around, you guys are kind of rooting through some of these different bags. You find different kind of stuff. You've got ropes and one has a pair of old sandals. In this one that you in particular that you could kind of go through as. That's close. Gosh dang it. Kai. Yes, I got it. As Kai, as Kai's kind of going through, you notice a couple of different things in there. One of which is kind of a large to you but small to a giant, like tablet, if you will, and etched in it in what seems to be kind of a rougher hand, much smaller than you would have expected for this kind of thing. You see something written, you believe to be in either Orcish or in.
I speak Orc.
Or in.
And Goblin.
Not Goblin.
And Draconic.
Giantish. What the heck?
Giantish.
I'm having
Giant.
a complete blank.
I think Giant is a language.
Giant.
Yeah, giant speak, whatever that
Okay.
is. I'm having a total mind blank. So does anybody, you say you
I speak Orc.
Orcish, okay? Anybody speak giant?
No, I only speak good language.
No.
I was thinking about taking it, but I didn't. I took
Okay.
Draconic instead.
So because you've seen the orc, you've seen Orcish. This seems to be the way that they've written it. Seems to be in an Orcish hand.
Okay.
But the as far as what's written on it, the
is
language is
not
not Orcish.
And I can't make it out. I say, I just look these guys know and say, it looks like an orc wrote this. They must be reporting to these giants somehow. The people that we talked to earlier did say that the orcs seem to be sort of enthralled by something or someone here, so I'm assuming this is a report of some kind. Should we see what else is in this place? Let's continue on.
Okay. You guys are going around.
Do we still have Pass Without a Trace?
Pass Without a Trace. That fight was pretty on. You guys probably got like 10 minutes of it left.
Okay. Let's keep using it.
So you guys are able to go around. You guys see up to the north. You see a door in this particular room. You see another. You see two sets of, well, 3 doors essentially. And then you also see a stairway as you kind of crest around the corner that goes up and around the hill. So if you poke your head, is it breaking?
No,
It's just being slow.
When it blacks it out, it has a delay on my movement, so I'll move and stop, and then it just keeps moving
Oh, I gotcha.
because I've moved it too far and there we go.
I'm just trying to undo that. So
there's a stairway.
I want to stealth and look at things.
okay, what things?
I want to look. It looks like there's a stairway.
Yeah. You want to stealth up there?
I want to stealth up to where it turns up to that next light and see where it.
Okay, roll me a stealth check with +10 to your thing from Pass Without a Trace, please.
$37.
37. Okay, you get up there without any issues. You hear a familiar rumbling. When you get to the top of the tower, you do see another hill giant sleeping in what seems to be a watchtower.
So he went up the stairs?
He went up the stairs. This guy would be at the top of the tower.
Okay.
Technically he's up there, but yeah, you get the idea. What do you do?
I'm going to relay it back to
Okay.
Okay.
If we want to go sneak up there
Yeah, I say
and
let's
try to get him knocked out before we go much farther.
I say let's take him out so we can't alert any others.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's stealth back up there and do what we did to those other two.
All right. So same, rinse, repeat. Go ahead, everybody roll for your initiative. I'm just gonna keep
It's
this
15.
Kai,
Ander.
Ander, and the number
15.
15. Okay. Tally.
Kai got a 20.
Okay. 20.
20 for Talion as well.
20 for Talion.
My dex is up +3.
So is mine.
All right. You rolled a
Do you
2.
care if I go first?
Nope, go for it.
I'll go first.
Descending. All right. So you guys get the jump on him. We'll just pull you right here so you can see him. You come around. Again, same thing. He seems to be. Each of them that you've come across seem to either have. You're not sure if this is habitual that they just kind of drink and eat themselves to sleep every night, or if they're having some kind of a gathering celebration. Not really sure. But go ahead and Kai, go first.
Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 normal daggery attacks.
Okay, so and make sure to roll. This is your bonus round, so it auto crits from the assassination.
As long as you hit.
As long as you hit.
But you get advantage, so it should.
You do have advantage. Yeah, he is unconscious.
I rolled a 26 for
It hits. What's the second one?
and a 20 for my second one, but it wasn't a natural 20. It was just
Okay,
it
perfect.
was 12 plus 8.
Both of them hit, and you have the auto crit on there from the assassination bonus round.
Right.
So go ahead and roll your damage. We'll for both of them, or just roll damage. We'll double it, and roll their next damage, double it, and then we'll add your
46.
Your 46 for your sneak attack. So many dice.
This is when Roll20 is nice because you just click your attack and then it's like, here's
Oh
your
yeah,
damage.
it just spits it out.
So it is a 14 times 2,
24.
so 28 points
20.
of regular damage.
Okay.
Plus
And then I roll 4d6.
Yep.
Yeah.
Roll 46, and then we add that flat.
that gets doubled too
That gets doubled.
on a crit.
Okay, so you did crit, so we'll double it.
As long as you can sneak up on somebody, which is why I'm always trying to sneak up on people.
All right.
So you guys are always raging in, slipping off of ice shelves and making a ruckus.
24 points of damage.
Doubled or
And that
flat?
is that includes the doubled.
Okay, cool. So you come in, you kind of learn from the last time, this time kind of getting yourself angled a little bit better for that same femoral artery. You jab in really hard, and then you jab him with the other one, and then you pull back, and you see that incision was much more efficient than last time. And he starts to sputter awake and just run. Who's there? And next is Talion.
I have an arrow for him.
Hit, roll your damage, attack and
I'm
damage.
gonna say, nature calls and shoot in the eye.
Perfect.
Oh, sorry, I have to roll my. Forget my wizard always auto hits on everything. 18.
18 hits, yes. Damage.
Okay, and it's 10 damage.
10 damage, okay. So you see him hit and he says, Nature, it's a puny druid, what are you doing here? Talion. Or Ander.
Ander. Alright, so that attack is a 34 to hit.
Hits. Anything, I'll just tell you right now, anything above a 13 is good.
Okay. For 22. Sorry. Yes, 22.
Okay, 22 damage.
Uh-huh. And then next attack is a hit. That's better. That's worse. 25.
25 damage. Okay, so kind of the same thing. He takes an arrow. He's gouting blood out, and you see him kind of like fall to his knee a little bit as his leg loses its ability to move. And you take your sword and once again just eviscerate. You disembowel him. And it takes him a few kind of gasping moments, and he falls forward, unconscious and dead on the ground.
We are precision,
like
surgical.
I turn to everyone and say, well, as long as we can fight them sleeping, we shouldn't have too much trouble here.
I shouldn't have given you god items.
Well, I'm sure this won't last.
No.
We just sneak our way through the entire map, just dispatching everything.
One by one.
And that's the end. You guys never got attacked.
Sneak attack, arrow, slice. Sneak attack, arrow, slice. Everyone's dead.
All right. So
people and not be sneaking.
What was that?
We need to fight people and not be sneaking, so that way I can use more of my spells.
No. Let's continue to. He hit me one time for like a quarter of my health.
Yeah.
And I'm probably the tankiest of all of us.
If you give them a round, they will hurt you.
Yeah.
So let's see. I want to look around from the watchtower. I mean, do we have vision now?
Now that you're looking around, you see that this watchtower doesn't see a huge amount, but you are pretty high up. You can kind of see around, and if you look in the distance, you start to see the lights coming on in that little guard post area. More people kind of starting to move around. It's got a nice view
from where we left.
From where you left.
Is there a ceiling above us, or is it like open sky?
It as far as this one comes up, when you get up to the top, the walls are pretty high from like normal ramparts for humans and what have you. It's much higher, but when you do get up and see over, it is open to the night sky or morning sky, early morning sky, dusk, dawn, whatever it is.
It's raining.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything around here that might be of use to us?
In this area, no, it's pretty barren. Other than the hill giant himself, he had a torch that had long gone out with him, but other than that, there's not really anything up there.
Let's keep moving.
Yeah, let's go back.
Okay.
Maybe check this door here in the corner.
Okay. So you're gonna check. Whoever wants to check it, roll me a perception check, please, or investigation.
Not me.
Go rogue.
What was that?
Like some Doritos. I'm gonna grab one.
Nice.
If you said something, Reese, it cut off. I wasn't sure what you said.
I was just saying I'll do the investigation check. It's only a 12.
12? And you're looking at this door right here?
Yeah, if I can do it as a perception, it will be higher.
So you put your ear up against the door. You're kind of listening. Do me a perception check. So your investigation, you don't believe this door is trapped. I'll just do a 2 for 1. And then just use that same roll and then just add your perception instead. Thank you.
It's a 19 for the perception.
19. From the echoing patterns in this particular door when you're listening through it, it sounds like a hallway.
Okay, so I look.
As far as you know, and using your dagger trick, this seems to be a very long corridor.
Let's go in.
Okay, let's start. I'm gonna sneak in.
Okay. So you open the door, you come inside. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. This is one of the worst parts, is trying to get to that dynamic lighting garbage. Click, delete. You open the door and you can see
touching
down the hallway. So you go ahead and you're stealthing. You come down to a place where it jogs in the corner. There are 2 doors, one to the north of you and one to your left as you come around the corner. And then the hallway also continues to extend further up, down to the area where you can't necessarily see. But you do start to hear, coming up from the north of that hallway, a hum or a thrum of talking, of something, of a lot of something. It's like when you're at the mall, there's that hum. You don't hear a conversation, you hear multiple conversations.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to check the door. Okay, I want to check around the corner to see if there's anyone coming.
Okay.
And if not, I want to see if I can peek through that door using my under the door trick.
Okay, so you peek around the corner and you're looking up to the north. You don't see anyone as far as you can see, but you're checking this one right here to the left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, do the same thing. Roll me a perception check when you're using your dagger tree.
20 again, that's a 12 plus 8.
Okay, putting the dagger down on the ground, you're looking. You see down the hallway. In this particular area, you see a few small, like candlelight, lamplight type things that are lighting this area. But as far as people, it seems to be pretty barren. It's a hallway similar to the one you're in right now.
Okay, and that door that's on the other side of the hallway, would I be able to check that?
Yeah, you can do the same thing.
I want to check.
Okay. So go ahead and you look up there. Roll me. I'll just use the same perception check as you're looking in. You see up into this room. Well, you see a lot of arsenal in this particular room. Large helmets, shields, spears, clubs, great axes, all scattered around, and they're all giant-sized.
We can loot it, but it's not.
You'd be pretty hard pressed to carry a lot of it. So
yeah, I go back and tell them there's a room full of giant stuff, and we should probably go here.
Okay.
All right. Go.
So you guys going down the hallway?
Yep.
All right. You go down the hallway. You see to the on your right, which is the north on the screen, up whatever. On your right, you see a door. To the left, you see a door. You see a hallway after. And then a following, basically 3 doors in this corridor that are kind of in a zigzag pattern with one another. What do you do? Check the doors?
Check the one.
I want to check the one to my right.
To your right, okay. So you go ahead and you poke in there. Dynamic lighting. Make me, and at this point, let everybody make me a stealth check, and this is without.
Yeah, my thing's expired.
You pass without a trace.
Son of a gun.
7.
7, okay.
Good.
Trying to manage all these people. 16.
6. Why?
All right.
At the bottom.
So you're going in there. You hear as he's kind of stepping, the creaking of a board. What's that?
I got a 28 for stealth.
Okay, 28, perfect. So everyone's being quiet. You hear kind of the creaking, and so you instinctively kind of go stiff as a board, at which point makes a little bit more noise as his armor is kind of like ruffling. You wait a second and kind of catch your breath. As you're looking under the door with your knife, you kind of look over at him, continue your investigation, listen. You don't hear anything. This room is empty, aside from a bunch of beds and cots. This seems to be some kind of a guest chamber. And as far as you can see, let's double check. 14, no, that's 16. 16. I gotta scroll up and down this all over the place. I swear I had this book, but when I got home I didn't have it, so I'm having to use the D&D or D&D Beyond. Okay, so you see some cloaks, you see some hides, some other stuff, but you do see a small, well, giant small sized chest in the stool on the northeast corner of the room. But otherwise the room is empty, it's derelict, it's no one seems to be there. And what's everyone's passive perception for me?
12.
12?
Pretty high. Hold on.
18.
18? The rest of them don't seem to notice, but across the hallway to this door from your south, you do hear movement. Not necessarily in your direction, but you hear someone stirring either from sleep or what have you. You do hear movement.
From where, sorry?
Coming from right here, this bottom door. But in this particular room above you, there's no one in there that you can see. You just see beds and a treasure chest.
I want to sneak into that room so we're not in a hallway.
Okay.
Into which room?
The north room.
The north room, the one I'm in front of.
Oh, okay.
Door.
Right. So if everybody agrees, y'all slip in without a trace. These giants are rolling horribly for their perception checks.
Low battery.
So we're gonna go up here. You see, right here is where this chest is. But you see all the beds. You see all the small chairs and things that kind of allow for it's kind of a sitting area. But this seems to be some kind of like a bunk.
I want to back up and use Mage Hand
Okay.
to try to open the chest.
Okay. So
Smart. Always
do you
open.
do you have others moved back, or do you just do it while they're standing there?
I mean, I think if they
Yeah,
see
I
me,
back up. When I see him approach the chest, I start backing up.
Okay. So you guys back up. Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check. With advantage. How much can that thing lift? I'd say it could probably check if it's unlocked or trapped, but I don't know that it'd be able to lift it. So.
well, let me see if I can check if it's trapped.
Okay. So go ahead and do a sleight just do a sleight of hand check, and we'll say if it's above a 12, it succeeds.
Well, I rolled a natural 17, so yeah.
Yep. So it succeeds. So you use the mage hand to check the usual places for traps. You don't seem to see anything, so you're able to kind of jimmy the lock and pop it open. So the chest itself is not trapped, from what you can tell, and it is unlocked.
Cool. I want to open it and see what's in it.
Okay. So you open it with mage hand or with your hands?
Oh, I don't think Mage Hand can lift it.
Nope. I'm just trying to make you nervous. So you open up, nothing unusual, except you see a bunch in this chest. What you normally expect to see, like a bunch of jewels or gold, platinum, whatever. You find dwarf and elf ears. Some of them with earrings still attached, all severed, removed in this box.
Gross.
But there is one or a few of them that do have earrings still attached with precious gemstones. Otherwise, it's just a box of ears.
I take like 3 earrings, I guess.
Okay.
I'm super grossed out.
Okay, so those ones you can just write them down. They're worth 50 gold total. All right, so this room. That seems to be the only thing other than bedding chamber, not a huge amount, but you do hear kind of the growing sound of movements and like the clomping on tables and what have you that seems to be coming from the west. You're all kind of starting to feel this.
I want to peek out, use my knife to peek out the door.
Okay. To the south?
To the south and kind of to the west as much as I can. I want to see if there's anyone in the hallway so we can get across the hall to check the other door.
So you look down there, you're doing the knife trick, you're essentially looking down the hall there. You don't see anybody in towards this door, and you slide to the other side and you don't see anybody for the other side either. The hallway, as far as you can tell, is empty, but you do still hear some rummaging from the south.
Can I peek my head out there just a little? Just a teensy bit?
Yeah. Then he lobs your head
See if I
off.
see anything. Cool.
Okay, so you peek your head out. You do hear some footfall as you're kind of poking your head out, and you see some young hill giants down here. As you're kind of poking your head out, they don't seem to see you. My goodness. So they're running from here up to the north. You just see them, they seem to be like school children type. They're playing, but they're large people. They're bigger than most humans.
I'm gonna leave them alone.
Okay.
I'm gonna let those guys know what I find, and I want to go west. Do you guys want to go west?
I say yes. At some point, we need to find out what these hill giants are doing. I might be ready to confront them and ask to be taken to their leader.
Don't do that.
Do it.
I see them murdering it.
Lead on.
So I want to go west and see if there's anything in the hallway that's adjacent to that door or to that room.
Okay. You go.
So that,
You see the end of the hallway. There's nothing there, but there are the two doors. One to your south, one to your north, and then that hallway.
can I see anything down that hallway, or is that as far as I can see?
You can see at this point. It's kind of dimly lit, but you could see all the way back there. It's basically just goes to another door at the far end of the hallway. At which point, when you guys are kind of over here looking, are you guys together?
Yeah.
So you hear the creaking sound of a door, and you do see at the end of the hallway the door open and some light and some steam and other things coming out from that area, and the fresh aroma of cooking meat and singed hair.
This is from the door.
From the north, way up in the north. Yep.
So those are the cooks that we thought we saw earlier. Perhaps we should go that way first.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's go that way.
Okay.
So we go down that long hallway.
Okay. Long hallway. You go us down the long hall. This is gonna be hard. Kind of covered up. All right, so you kind of come down this long hallway. You see as you kind of come to the end of it. We'll get rid of this. Lighting. You see into here. Whoever was kind of coming to this door and looking, they are still standing there, kind of talking in the door. They say something in a language that you don't understand, and then they close it back shut, and then he walks off. You hear the footfall as he's walking away from you.
Okay.
But you guys are able to approach the door without being noticed.
Oh. There we go in.
Yeah, let's go in.
Okay.
Reese, do you want to try and stealth in and scout it out a little bit? See if you can make it in there without being seen? Kai, I mean. We'll stand back.
Yeah, can I stealth to see if I can make it under the table?
Sure. So in that brief glimpse of when you see it was in there, you're able to see the table. So go ahead and roll a stealth check for me. So from you said you knew Orcus, right?
Yes.
Specifically. You would have gotten glimpses of what they were saying. Something about, we need to get it there quickly. Hurry up. Otherwise, you're going to be lunch. Is kind of the general discussion that you hear kind of going between these people.
In this room.
These humanoids.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, what's your stealth roll, Reese?
19.
19, okay. Roll against. Yeah, they don't notice you. So as far as you kind of roll and tumble into the room. You open the door just enough for you to get in, and you're able to make it underneath the table itself where, you can see a fire in the corner of the room. You hear kind of different things. In this particular room, you're getting more and more of that sound that you were getting before, that thrum of just discussion and what have you. And you see over here a orcish female in really tattered, torn, whatever clothes, commoner of some form or fashion, walk towards these doors and briefly. I'm gonna move you over here so you can kind of see it. You guys can't see it. You guys can't see this thing?
No, I think you need to move us into the room, and then we probably can. I think it's the line of sight of the door that's blocking us.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
Oh, that's better.
Is that better? Can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you come in, you see a door across the hallway, and from that door, it opens briefly, and you see inside the better part of 20, maybe 30 giants. There's hill giants. You see a very large cloud giant standing near the middle, near the large fire. He's arguing with an ogre about, some such. You hear the servants that are also hill giants, smaller hill giants that have been kind of taxed to serve these larger, more powerful giants going around. You see in that brief glimpse stone giant, and on the far side of the wall you see a couple of just hill giants that seem to be carrying themselves differently, that are in very heated conversation, and then a very large portly female hill giant, in other words, sitting next to what you believe to be some kind of a chief or some kind of importance because of where he's sitting at the table in the room. So otherwise there's just a lot of discussion. You see kind of backbiting. One of the guys, the two of them are fighting over a whole cow, and between the two of them grabbing the hind legs, just quarter it and then tearing it apart, and just animalistic, very barbaric.
I wait until the orc is like maybe away from the door. I mean, I don't know if she's like kind of going back and forth and like gathering food or whatever.
Basically, you get the sense that they're like a servant line. They're coming in with food, coming back with food, in, out. And this is just kind of like a staging area for that food that's been cooked.
So how many? Is it just the one that or are there like multiple?
There's multiple.
Kind of
You've got people coming in and out. Right now, that's what he's kind of at, and then you guys are down there, I'm assuming.
I want to like interrogate one of them, but I don't want to like bring a whole host of orcs down on her head either.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
18.
18. You get the sense, regardless of them being orcs, you get the sense that just like any other creature, you can tell when they're in distress. Mm-hmm. They are very much in distress and do not seem like they enjoy this at all.
Okay.
This is like a frantic do it or be eaten kind of thing.
Okay. In that case, like as soon as there's like an orc that's kind of maybe walking past our door,
okay,
I wanna speak to him sort of softly but just loud enough that they can hear, and say, "Hey, you orc, come here."
I'm on the other side of the door with the arrow drawn just in case.
Okay, so on the back side of the door, this is kind of a sliver.
Yep.
She hears you. One of these walks by. There's females, males. This particular one, an older, frailer looking orc. Kind of, you see his ears twitch and kind of perk up, and he's looking around. Sees the door kind of cracked open. He walks up in an orcish. Who goes there?
I want to grapple him.
Okay. So you swing the door open and then grapple him. Make me a strength check, and he's gonna natural 1. Nope, you don't have to. As long as you don't get a natural 1, you've got him.
23.
He's an old dude, and you almost break his arm when you're like, and you sack him through the door. Make me a sleight of hand to see if anyone notices.
That is a natural 20.
Natural 20. So basically, he kind of, it was one of those ones where the door kind of goes in, and it was like something out of a Stephen King movie, just gone. Everyone turns around, nothing. So you now have him in the hallway, kind of wide-eyed and blurry, just like, whoa, like.
And I say, what's going on here? And I'm talking to him in Orcish. I say, what's going on here? Who do you serve and why?
You're not giants. You're not giants. Who do I serve? We serve so that we may not die. We have been captivated by these giants, and we are here to bring them food and keep them happy so they do not eat us.
And what are the giants doing here?
Well, there was some kind of ritual. There's some kind of stone that they are worshipping.
Stone. We found a chest of dwarven, human, and orcish ears in a room nearby. Was that the work of your people or of the giants?
Well, my people are honorable, and should we take such trophies? We haven't been known to, but no, we are not allowed to have personal effects.
This is all in Orcish, by the way, so it's really British and it's not like flowery at all. So just imagine.
How many orcs are there here?
In the compound, 20, maybe 30.
And how many giants?
Are many. I do not have time to count many of them, but I would say upwards of 30.
Well, there's 3 less now since we got here.
His eyes kind of get a little bit wider.
He says, well, we are a proud race. We are not meant for this kind of servitude.
And he kind of spits on the ground. And he says,
if only for today, we would be more than willing to help you bring the downfall of these giants.
I say, I've never in my life thought to ally myself with an orc, but sometimes necessity breeds strange companionships.
Indeed.
I say, could you gather your people somewhere safe where we could talk to them outside of the ear of the giants and perhaps devise a plan? Do you have a leader?
Well, we have none but with circle of elders, perhaps, but most of us are already dead.
there's a few of us still in the kitchens. Some of them are nursing wounds from having their legs broken from being kicked or brushed away. But I don't know that we would be able to do so unnoticed. They have quite the regular need for an insatiable appetite for meat.
How willing would your people be to rise up in rebellion if we were to challenge these giants?
I think we all dream of the day that we cut their throats in their sleep.
Do you know if there's a way that we could pick them off individually? It seems like there's a large group in this room over here. We can't confront them all at the same time.
It would be difficult because they have been in communion for some time, talking, strategizing for whatever they're deciding they're doing. They've had a few different people that have come and gone, ambassadors from different places, stone giants, cloud giants, hill giants, people, ogres from all across, many chieftains. But this group that is here is fairly regular, aside from the storm giant that you've seen.
And you don't know anything about the storm giant or why he's here?
I do not. I know he is an ambassador. That is all I know.
All right. Allow me some time to converse with my companions. If you
just ask them where the rock is. I bet you that's where we have to go.
Of Fortunately, he's using message.
Actually, I don't have it.
Don't tell him that. He's the DM. No, I do. You know, I say the stone that you say they're worshiping. Where is it? What is it?
I am not entirely certain, but my skin crawls around it. It was brought by a traveler. One of the ogres had brought it to this place as tribute to this person. But since it's come here, there's been a lot more comings and goings. More staying than leaving.
Where is it kept?
I do not know. I believe I have. There are places in this castle which we are not, or not castle, in this place that we are not allowed to go, but they do have caverns deep beneath us.
Can you show us the entrance to one of these caverns?
It would be difficult to go unnoticed, and he's kind of looking you up and down with your shiny armor. And
I say we have our ways to go unseen.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Can I assist by putting my hood up and turning invisible?
Sure.
Okay.
You can do so with advantage if he does that.
Okay, good, because I needed that.
17.
17, okay. He kind of looks you up and down. He sees kind of the disappearance, and you see his kind of eyebrow raised, and he says, well,
we may be able to go unnoticed. Wait here a moment. May I?
and
I said, betray me, and you'll be the first to fall. And I let him go.
My people are honorable.
And at this point, he'll walk out into the room. You'll see him disappear for a minute, and when he comes back, he'll have with him a couple of two, specifically because he only saw you two, aprons, essentially, that you could use to try and
And that we're orcs.
pretend that you're orcs in armor.
Sure.
I didn't say he was smart, but
I
that's what he done.
kind of raise my eyebrow and say, put the apron on.
Put mine on as well.
Okay.
Actually, I give mine to Kai, because I can be invisible. I don't need to.
Okay, and then he's going to take from his hand. He'll take one of his claws. He's going to tear into his hand and get a little bit of blood, and then he's going to use his thumb and he's going to write in Orcish on each of your aprons, and then it'll be with the writing on it is Chainbreaker. This is what's going to be written on them, and so as you guys kind of come out, it's nothing like fantastic. It's just little small blood insignia, I guess you could say. But as he says, okay, you will need to follow me quickly. And at which point he pulls you in, kind of looks out into the room. What are you doing at this point, Reese? Seeing these guys in aprons and coming back in the room.
I'm gonna see if they notice me. I'm gonna look at the nurse and be like, what the F is going on?
I'll just beckon to him and be like, "Come on, this way."
Okay, so he waves to you to say, come on.
Okay, so I guess I go out, and I'm real nervous about it.
Okay. So you go ahead
So
and
I
join
come out of hiding to talk to the old orc.
At this point, he's kind of like walking up here to the north of you guys, going up through the other parts of the kitchen. Some of the orcs are looking at you. They raise eyebrows, but when they see the insignia, they let you pass without.
Okay. Cool.
So you kind of come down here. You get to the upper edge in the corner. You hear a large, and you see the orc kind of beckons for you guys to stop and not go any further. Then you hear someone call out, and he says, "More meat." And then you hear a bunch of scampering and whatever. And at which point you kind of seeing this around the corner, you see the silhouette as this orc comes up and kind of trips in front of him, and he just steps on him, and you hear the sickening crack as it breaks his back, and just the wailing and what have you. It kicks him across, and you see him slide against the wall with his, no longer mobile legs. And so we wait a moment. The ogre or the giant leaves, and at this point, you guys are able to get up and see the rest of this kitchen.
Is the orc dead?
Wriggling in pain, like upper body.
I kind of like go over to him and just see what kind of medicine I can give him to ease his pain.
Roll me a medicine check. Is this magical or just medicine?
Just medicine. 17 plus 3, 21.
So based on the alignment of his back, you can see clearly that his spinal cord is severed, and without magical intervention or what have you, there's not much you can put him out of his misery.
I'll just give him some sort of plant or whatever that can.
Okay, so go ahead. You give him something that maybe you had on hand, and you could probably actually pull it out, kind of put it together, make a little bit of a balm that he's able to kind of like rub inside on his gums and get into his bloodstream. And after about 5 minutes of medicinal whatever, you give him something that he's still hurting like crazy, but it's taking the edge off.
Die well, friend. And then I just leave.
Okay. So you guys are going around while he's kind of tending that. You guys were looking around in different places. You see the end of the corridor up here. A lot of different just food stashes, different just all the corpulent amount of foods that these guys are eating is up that direction. Then to the south, you see 2 doors. The one orc that is leading you, he says, "In order to get there, it is this way." And he refers to the door on the left. And he says, "This way leads to trouble." And you get creaking the door open a little bit, showing you it's the hallway that separates you and the great hall of whatever. Right. And he says, "This way also leads to trouble." And he opens the door, at which point you see down into this room. I'm just going to get rid of these so it's easier for you guys to navigate and see what's going on. Objects. So you come into this room, and it's a little bit of a storeroom, and in the back of the storeroom, behind some crates, you see a stairway that goes down.
Okay.
Let's go.
Thank you. Watch for a potential signal for an uprising.
Will do. We will be waiting, I assure you. And at this point, he says, and I've just kind of closes the door, waving his hand in a dismissive gesture. And you guys are left to your devices. Do you guys go downstairs?
Yes.
All right.
Checking for traps.
Checking for traps.
I'm lousy at checking for traps.
I'll check for traps. I have pretty good investigation.
Okay, so between you and me, so you're checking for traps too?
Yeah.
Okay, both of you roll me an investigation check for me, please, as you're going down.
22.
22. 22. You don't. You as you're going along, you don't find any tripwires or anything else, but you do hear as you're walking, kind of the footfall of one of these creatures that you believe was the one that broke the back. That is kind of just slowly muddling its way down this hallway into the darkness in the corridor. So let me see if I can get this to match up properly without completely botching it. This is the dungeon level 1. Let me ask you guys this right now. I know that right now it's 12:06. How's everybody feeling for time? I'm fine for probably another hour if everyone else is, but if not, we can. This module is a lot longer than I made it seem.
Okay, I can do another hour.
I am pretty tired.
Okay.
I have an early day tomorrow.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna have to work.
But
We can have this as a standing if somebody's sick game.
Yeah.
I would like that. I think that would be good. I would like to play this character some more.
Yeah.
Okay. So giving you guys a little bit of an epilogue, I guess, for what you guys done, having kind of found your way in here, kind of tested your mettle against the giants, and found that they were found lacking in some ways. But still also being,
As long as they were sleeping.
as long as they were sleeping, you're mortally aware of what was going on as you descend into these cryptic hallways as it becomes colder and colder into the cellar-like environment. Let's see if it'll even show you. Be careful, I don't know if I have, yeah, don't look around. I don't think, I think it's got whatever enabled. You're getting into a much more rural part of this more roughly cut, more cavernous, and you get the feeling and the breeze, on the breeze, the smell that you're getting is that of just decay and not necessarily undeath, but just that of very long-standing, like an overcrowded prison, a stench of just like old body. You know what I mean? Like just people, like a lot of
room.
A very stuffy room. Yeah, you get stuffier as you go. So, thank you guys for letting me DM for you. Yeah, sorry, I was like frantically looking at these different ones, and I was like, okay, I could do a one shot where it's just a heist, and then I was like, well, we've never done any of these other ones, and they want level 12. This requires level 11. So
there you go. Sweet. Oh, cool. That was fun.
Thanks for bearing with us, everybody, on the stream. Sorry we had some crappy issues. Reminder: we are doing Extra Life 2018 all year round. November 3rd is when we're going to be doing the 24-hour stream. We're getting.
Hey, we can continue this one shot maybe that day.
Yeah, there you go.
A Saturday.
There you go.
November 3rd.
So we could do we could like I said, there's lots of room to grow in here. So if you do want to donate to that, great. It goes to Children's Miracle Network, which is a great cause. I myself, my kids, and I think many of us have all benefited in some form or fashion from Children's Miracle Network and the things that they do for kids. And yeah, we'll same bat time, same bat channel next week on Thursday. So thanks for coming.
Okay. Sayonara.